So we're rolling,
Hello.
and you can hear me. Hello.
Can hear me perfectly.
Yeah. All right. So we're rolling. Thank you, Selima, for joining me.
I'm
Big
excited.
breath. I'm excited for you to be here.
Same.
We're excited about podcasts.
Yeah, I love podcasts, and it's weird being kind of a part of one.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It is weird.
Yeah, and
It's weird for me too.
It's like a first-hand experience.
Yeah, it's really behind the scenes. It feels so exclusive and
Yeah, exactly. There's
yeah.
a light. And
But there's no room for. I mean, there's all the room for just honesty and being your complete self here today. So,
awesome.
just for the record, could you tell me your name?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'm Selima Uncut. So
Could
yesterday.
Could you spell that for me so I don't make any silly mistakes?
Yeah, of course. So it's Selima. Funny story. In my passport it's spelled with an A, but anyway. And then my last name is Ben space Rhouma.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they messed up your passport.
It's misspelled in my passport. It's with an A. One time I went to pull out money, and they were like, because I wrote it with an E, and they were like, your passport has an A. You can't do that. Oh crap. But anyway, yeah.
You've got two identities to keep up with now.
Yeah. I'm a Selima and a Selima.
Selima, no. Come on. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell everybody what your major is here at JCU?
Yeah, okay. So I'm a freshman in communications. I'm still thinking about my minors, maybe art and design, maybe psychology. But for now, I'm doing communications as my majors.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was one thing that when Julian introduced us, he was like, "You've got to meet Selima. She's communications and art and design, and you guys are gonna click."
Yeah,
so
that's
well.
what he told me too.
And he's always fucking right.
Yeah. He's funny, Julian. It's funny how he introduced me to all these people, but it's nice. So,
yeah. Bless Julian. Cheers to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Where are you from, Selima?
Okay, I'm from Tunisia. So I lived there my entire life, but my mom's also American. So I'm also from the States in Chicago.
Okay. So you lived for some time in Chicago?
I never lived there. I grew up in Tunisia and then lived there the rest of my life. I've been to the States almost not a lot of times in the summer. And I guess I speak good English because people always, why do you have an accent? Because I only speak with my mom in English.
Yeah.
And she kind of transferred that onto me.
What was it like growing up in Tunisia?
Honestly, it's amazing. It was very different. So when I talk to some of the Americans around here and I hear about their experiences in the States, I'm like, it's very interesting how the cultures are different. But growing up in Tunisia was awesome. I remember every summer we go to the beach because the beaches are amazing. And we're very family oriented there, so I always had family around, which was nice. And yeah, I definitely miss it actually. I'm a little homesick.
Oh.
Yeah, first month in college.
Yeah.
The beginnings. Like calling my mom.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. I mean, the more time that you spend here, it's like you create home in so many places, and then it just gets more complicated.
Confusing.
Yeah.
That's what my brother was telling me. He spent last year abroad. And he was like, at first I missed home, and then once I started adjusting to my house and where I'm living in my environment, I started to miss, because he's now back in Tunisia. It's like, I miss my other home. Tunisia sucks. Tunisia doesn't suck, but yeah.
It requires pain to love so much of the world, doesn't it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, Selima, you're thinking about a minor in art and design. Could you tell us a bit about that and what your relationship is with the arts, if any?
Okay, so ever since I was little, can you say that? Because someone told me you can't say that.
Of course you can say that. Screw that person. Just kidding.
No, really. So yeah, ever since I was little, my mom has put me in an art school when I was young. And so I kind of grew up really enjoying art. And I left the school and then just started doing it on my own, and learning how to draw on my own. But in school, so the one reason why I wanted to do art and design here is because in my school we didn't have the AP art and the stuff, and it was just so cool to have these advanced art classes that they had, but it was not really the same back at home.
A bit more critical.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also very copy. Like you take a paint, like it's not very creative. It's just you copy this image, and the teacher will literally come over and fix it for you.
Mm.
So it's not even your artwork.
Yeah.
And I hated that. And I never got the opportunity to actually learn, arts and different forms of art. So that was the main reason why I did liberal arts, and to be able to do that with other things.
Are you familiar with performance art?
I mean, I'm familiar with it as the name. I've seen a few performance arts. Technically, you can say, yeah, but not a lot, to be honest. No, yeah.
Okay. What's your take on performance art? Like, what kind of a role does it play in the art world? I mean, it's a bit bit fuori mondo. It's like not in the like
It's
fine arts feel. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah.
It's like this fine line difference between arts and crafts, and then there's like this weird.
Yeah. I mean, don't some people just say it's dance? I mean, if that's
It could be dance,
Yeah, it's
theater,
dance. Theater.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
I think it's also well, okay, in that spectrum, I was part of this theater class when I was little. But so performing arts, I guess then, yeah, it's theater, it's dance, it's anything you use to create a performance, I guess.
Yeah,
technically.
It's pretty wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
Cool.
music be in that category?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's a strange difference between performance art in the fine arts field and like performance art in like Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
But that'll be for another podcast,
That'll be a debate on one of our podcasts maybe.
So we talked a little bit about Julian. My next question was, how do we know each other?
Oh, funny story. So Julian.
You're like the third person that said, so Julian, when I asked this question. He's gonna be he's gonna be the star of the show. He doesn't even know it.
You know how one of the first, literally, subject Julian. You know that one of the first messages I've ever received from Julian is, hey, we're going to this bar. I'm going to this bar with a bunch of freshmen. If you want to come and meet them, like, this senior Julian is like bringing freshmen together. But it was really nice. He's like our guide and everything.
A guide.
It's funny. And anyway, so basically he walks up to me and he's like, hey, you should meet my friend, Kristen. She lives in communications and is really into art and good at it and all. And I think we were at the Tiber campus.
Tiber, yeah.
We were having a coffee, or I was eating a croissant or something like that.
Cigs, yeah.
And
Cigs
then you started talking to me about your crochet bag. And I was like, that's so cute.
So weird.
I want to learn how to crochet.
Cut that out, please.
I'm not a grandma, I swear. I knit in my home. Free time.
That is so funny. Okay, Julian is our star of the show. Thanks, Julian, for bringing us all together, man. You see the fruits of your labor. Okay, so great. We got to know a little bit about you just briefly and how we know each other.
Yep.
I think now, without a further ado, we'll lean into the video. So if you want to go ahead and pull out your phone, and we'll get started.
Good thing.
Didn't fall there, did it?
I thought it was my phone, yeah. Should I?
And this is just totally natural. I want you to react in real time. Tell me what you're seeing. Describe it. You don't have to be a visual communicator. You know, just tell me in layman's terms what you're seeing and what you're feeling, and we'll open a discussion to what you're seeing. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And again, with these mics, they're a bit touchy, so if you could hold the phone a bit down, again, it doesn't pick up the sound.
Right.
There's not much sound to hear. There are subtitles, so you don't have to worry about missing out on anything.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say I probably should take off my headsets.
No, it's okay. You'll see the subtitles. Yeah.
Okay.
As we
I'll
go.
Just do a little.
Sure.
Switch.
Yeah, there's some sounds in the ambience and things like that, and that could be interesting.
All right. So should I just start it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Excited. So this is you, right?
Yeah. All me.
Okay, so this is our first.
Oh wait, can I pull up my glasses real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Let me go grab them.
Sure.
I'm sorry for this.
No, you're all good. Take your time. Watch your step.
As you should have.
There's so much to trip over here in the studio, man. Too many wires.
That's the first thing I would have done. episode of how Selima messed up the room. Alright, we're good.
Okay, so this is our first spot. As you can see, there is no one here. It's not as I expected. We're gonna try to set up here and see if anybody passes by, but if not, we'll have to try again in another square because it's dead here right now.
Here we go.
I'm excited. This sounds interesting. Title's nice.
Tighter.
So tell me what you're seeing.
Did you attach, what are they called? The things you use when you have like a broken, what are they called?
Crutches.
Crutches to your hands?
Yes.
And what did you write?
That would be the title in Italian.
Okay. Are you blindfolded or somehow?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're in front of a, wow, what was it standing there all day like?
Cold. It was at the end of December.
Oof. Wow, she really is trying to paint something. That's really interesting. Julian hates that word.
I know. He said that on the in our interview. We talked about it for like 5 minutes.
She just switched it up. She's like, I don't know. Let's ruin it a bit. Good. That's Tunisian.
Is it?
Heavy.
I had no idea. But as many
Like,
times
what
as
is
I've
this?
really,
I swear. That's funny.
as many times as I've watched this back, I'm like, what is that language?
That's Tunisian.
There were many Tunisians in Cesena.
I'm sure.
And North
Tunisians all
Africans.
over the world.
Yeah.
It's funny how not a lot of people. It's kind of like they're thinking about it.
There's some passion there.
Can we play?
Allora, rientri,
It's a game.
prendi le bacchette e fai e muovile. Lei muove le mani,
How do I move my hand?
devi spingerla un po' in avanti, ecco, vai.
A nice stippling effect from this young lady.
Bravissima.
What do you mean by that stippling?
Just
Che
dots.
sia... Che bello! Divertente. Attenta perché ogni tanto si arrabbia e ti dà una spennellata nel naso. Che forte.
There's the stippling.
Yeah.
Dai, dai.
That's not gonna give out an artistic touch.
Certo che te è una bella voglia. Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, grazie mille.
Quanto la pagate lei? Niente, abbiamo il panettone.
What's a panettone? Christmas dessert.
Yeah.
They're very sweet, huh? A lot of. It's funny how mostly the parents will like encourage the kids to do it.
Right.
Maybe trying to find activities for them.
Yeah. Well, just behind me there we're setting up an ice skating rink and a Christmas market. This is one of the main squares in Cesena. Just behind me there's the Duomo.
Okay.
And this morning they were just opening up the market, so I expected there to be a lot of foot traffic and a lot of children in the area.
Yeah, okay, that's cool, yeah. Yeah, because, I don't know, I noticed a lot of people with children stopping to do it for not just that one woman.
It surprised me as well.
Yeah. It's like, why won't they do it themselves?
Right.
But they encourage to their children.
Ciao, prendi le stampelle e disegnare come vuoi.
If you don't mind turning down the volume just a little bit. Good.
A 2 anni, che bravo.
Ti ringraziamo per l'esperienza.
Ah, grazie a voi. Buona giornata.
Ciao, anche a te.
Ciao.
That's cute.
Guarda che lo fai già, guarda.
So this was one of the only people that came up to me and didn't say a word before interacting.
Yeah. The woman behind says, watch what your father does, but he
Doesn't say anything to me directly.
That must have been kind of like, oh, okay.
A bit of a scare, yeah.
We're doing this.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, most people are like, excuse me, how does this work? How can I try? That's true.
Permission.
Oh. Is that someone with you?
Yes. I was afraid that people may run off with my camera as I recorded, or
That's very true.
yeah, or even the canvas itself. Just
no,
bounce.
honestly, that's fine. Oh, excuse me.
Perché è da prima che vi guardo.
Sì, è una performance di pittura. Io sono solo l'assistente, faccio quello che mi dice lei. In pratica lei è bardata, gli occhi bardati, non si può muovere e chiede l'aiuto di chi vuole per dipingere la
Proviamo allora.
Perché no?
Aspetta, mi metto la mascherina però. Partiamo? Ma io non so fare niente però.
I wonder what it looks like. Seeing some nice people.
Yeah, we get to this point and everyone's like, come on, I just want to see it.
Yeah. What is he doing? Is that your friend or is that
My ex-boyfriend,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
They just flipped it around to try to get a bit more work on both sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This guy and his dog. One of my favorite
His
characters.
guitar. Just looks over.
Another street performer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the street performers, like around here, around Rome, everywhere. The jazz and.
I want to do this experience again.
I think it would be interesting in Rome
Yeah.
with all the people. Yeah.
Do you think that may change
The experience,
the
like
experience?
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially depending on the time you do it.
Mm.
That would be interesting. Because, like, you have a lot of families, kids around here. I mean, Rome, there's a lot of tourist couples, a lot of university students drinking and everything and hanging around. It's very full. Maybe less now. I noticed it's starting to clear out. The streets are starting to get less full now with the cold weather coming in and less tourists. What did that guy do? He just did a little thing. But it would be cool, you know. What is she doing?
I love this little bike. And he has like the most inflexive voice. Go Zeppa!
When they're cute.
So most people grabbed the crutches at a meter's distance, but this person actually came up and grabbed at my elbow for a bit more, perhaps for a bit more control.
Which is smart, actually, because kind of. It's 11:50. How long were you there for?
2 hours.
I'm excited. Oh, cool. That's very cool.
What do you think of the final piece, about how it looks and just if you were to see this hanging by itself, what would you say about it?
Well, one, like honestly, besides the fact that it kind of looks like that painting we studied in visual comm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the painting we studied in visual comm, but
Oh,
it
the
reminds
Pollock
me-
painting.
Yeah, it reminds me of that one. But mostly, it reminds me of a kid's drawing. It kind of reminds me of like a little kid's drawing, which is funny because there was so many kids coming up and doing it. It's very...
Here we are with the words again, huh?
Yeah, the words.
We gotta call
visual
Professor
comm.
Gianni.
Oh my god, please help me with my I'm Googling the amount of times I've Googled synonyms in this last week.
Where's our thesaurus?
Ugh, but yeah, it's very free. It doesn't have any detail. It's kind of, sketchy. I mean, not sketchy, but it's very... You can tell there's two sides to it, kind of, you know. So there's definitely that side, like you can tell there's the right and the left arm, because there's a little space in between that is not very filled. And usually they were either, I can see the little girls.
Yes, the pointillism
of the brushes, those are cute.
Yeah, she really added her artistic touch, like her father said.
She did. And when did the black come in?
So
how did that happen?
In one arm I had a paint pen, and the other I had a paintbrush.
Oh, okay, so that's why there's more purple and harder brush strokes on that side to cut to the other. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, see. All right. Oh, so that's interesting. That means someone took your complete right arm and then did like a swoosh, right? Or would it be,
Yeah, you can see the influence that people had.
Yeah. I mean, it's collectively, it's one piece, and it looks almost the same except for the little girls, little touches and the difference between the black and purple. But it's funny because there's so many people like doing it. And yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. It's cool. Yeah, it looks like a little kid's painting.
It does. And
like, you know how kids, they just go into the piece of paper and they're just like putting all the paint.
How do I miss that?
The pens, the skull. That's fun. It's very freeing.
Yeah.
And in a way, I guess, in some ways, you were allowing people to, you know, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. You weren't free, technically, because you were, like, had your hands blocked, and you weren't the one in control. But it looks like it's quite the opposite of that. You know?
Okay.
Whereas, like, if you were doing it, you know, I've seen your Instagram account, it's really cool. You would have, like, probably, like, if you were just doing a sketch, it would be, like, a detailed where with the different, you know, everything.
Don't make me blush.
It would make... That was a cool sketch, guys. So I'm promoting you right now.
Thanks
That
for
was
the shout out.
No, that was a cool sketch. It was
We
like,
won't be cutting that one out.
We will not. Yeah, and so it had like the perspective, and this is just,
Yeah.
you know,
Flat space, maybe.
it is very flat space. There's different, yeah, and like we were talking in visual comm, there's like the lines that are kind of going into different directions. It kind of reminds me of this one time there was this live art performance, kind of like yours. This man, he had this big painting, and he was asking people to do self-portraits of him. So he did like a sketch of his self-portrait, and then through those where he sketched, people have to draw self-portraits of him until it looks like a complete image. And it's gonna be a self-portrait of self-portraits.
Oh, so it's like playing telephone.
Actually, it's a self-portrait of portraits of him.
Yeah.
Because technically they're not self-portraits if people are doing it.
Have you ever played telephone, like where you're sitting in a circle and you're saying...
Have the string.
Yeah, the string. And no, but so there's this game, and we used to play it in summer camp. I would sit all the kids down and give them... I was teaching English, so I would give them a phrase, and I would say something like blue dolphin.
Yeah.
And I would say it in the ear of the kid next to me. That kid would pass that message along to the next, and they would play telephone until it comes back and they say something completely stupid.
Yeah. Like, and just doesn't make sense to the original thing. Yeah, we played that in our Arabic class. We call it I think it has a different name. I forgot. Actually, you know, it's kind of funny. Maybe your live art performance is kind of like that in a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually have a end, like, it says something, but it doesn't, you know? Does that make sense?
Right.
And there are many people going, like, adding their touch to it.
Right.
So, it was really, yeah.
And there's nothing representational in there. Like, Gianpaolo said, did anybody draw a dick? And I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the first fears that I had standing out there. Someone is going to be making me paint a blasphemy in the middle of a piazza, and I'm gonna get arrested.
If you did that in Rome, if you did the same experience, you would have a few of those.
A few dicks, right? For sure. For sure.
Or you would just have someone walk by and be like, I don't know, fuck the things, I'm just gonna draw something on it directly.
Right.
And it wouldn't be the same.
I would love that.
That would kind of be cool. Well, you know what, actually?
Shout out. Somebody please bring a pen to the next performance, man.
Just go at it.
Yeah.
Don't even tell her. Just go at it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, people comply to the rules then.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
Even though no one actually decided, they all, you know, you said use the crutches. The crutches.
Yeah.
Thank you. You use the crutches to paint with. No one thought, okay, let me just grab the paintbrush instead of the crutch. Which I'm sure if they did, like, would you have? I don't know.
I have no idea. That's not something that I actually thought. I went in with a lot of worries that what could happen, but that's not something that came to my mind. That's an interesting one. I wonder if I would have to tape them to my hands as well next time, huh?
Someone runs off with the paint.
Yeah. Oh, write that down.
Yeah, but you did have that. It was good that you had someone with you.
Yeah.
Be my eyes, be my hands, right?
Well, that leads me to my next question. I mean, we're talking about this possibly taking place in Rome, and I really like to think about how the space and the time will change what we're seeing. And even some, like, small changes that could really make an impact. Like, how am I dressed?
Yeah. 100%.
If I'm, you know.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it would, I mean, honestly, I would have like 2 people with you if you were dressed a little differently.
Need a bodyguard.
Especially, I don't know. It would maybe be a different experiment. I think you should try it.
Yeah.
Find out. I mean, because it's very funny, you know, the way you dress definitely impacts how you are perceived. Like, just this morning, when I was getting ready for this, I kind of wanted to wear a skirt. And then I was thinking about it. And I told my roommates, I'm like, I can't wear a skirt. I'm going to the campus, you know? And, like, it's just, a skirt, in my country, for example, if you wear a skirt, you're only wearing it to go out, or else you're kind of, like, overdressing in a certain way, if that makes sense. They're like, who cares? I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be wearing a skirt.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna
You're
go
right.
with jeans.
It changes how you're perceived, especially across
sure.
cultures. I mean, depends on the culture in which you
Yeah.
come from, but also, I mean, in this case particularly, how you're treated.
Yeah.
I mean,
For sure.
it's on display. I mean, we hear all the time that rape victims are blamed for what they were wearing or
Yeah.
how they were acting
That
at
is
the time.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, that is disgusting, because especially when you, like, think about it, kids have been raped, and, you know, people wearing, you know, it doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter. But there's so many things about girls that they have to pay attention to 100% when it comes to what they wear, especially that actually, you know, growing up in Tunisia, I've had to be more aware of that, because, like, my friend, you know, back at home, so you can't show too much.
Mhm.
If I'm a little naked on top, which is like back there a crop top,
Mhm.
I maybe would want to wear something longer down at the, like,
Yeah.
for pants or
Can't do both.
something. I can't do both.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, what's the word for it?
Well, it could go different ways. It depends if you're talking about how you're perceived or how you're treated. I mean, in some cases, it could be something that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Or if you're talking about how you're perceived, it could be something that's, I mean, makes you feel yucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than confident.
Yeah, for sure. Because it has happened where, you know, you go out wearing a certain thing and you're feeling good about yourself, like a dress or something, and then the second you're out, it's kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, people are.
Have we all been there?
No, we have. People stare so much, and you're just really uncomfortable. You're no longer, you don't enjoy it anymore. I went to work one time wearing a long skirt, and I swear it was like it wasn't tight, but it flowed out at the bottom, but it was a little tight on my, you know,
hips,
booty part. Let's just put it that way. I was so uncomfortable. I went home and changed, and the weirdest thing was, like, the second I went home and changed, my boss was like, oh, you changed? And I was like, yeah, I was a little uncomfortable. He was like, I can imagine. I can see that.
That's fucking unnecessary.
I was like,
Excuse me.
wait, so you're openly telling me you will notice? Like, I don't know. And
it was reaffirmed.
Like, it could have been I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, it was itching or something, you know?
Yeah.
But no,
you could feel the energy in the room as well.
You can. Oh, energies. You can feel those. You can feel that.
Yeah. That's for another podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna write that one down as well.
Write that one down.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, man. Okay, Selima, this is awesome. Okay, we're coming up. It's been 32 minutes now. I just want to close this out talking a bit more about you. We talked about some really deep subjects and connotations in this performance art, touching on subjects of influence and distance and vulnerability.
Yeah.
And
you were very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. Very naked in a way, because you took away all your, like, things that you would, you know, that you need. Your hands, your vision, you don't know. And it's kind of like that guy who kind of just walked up. I mean, you gave him permission to, technically, but it just startled you, you know. It's kind of like weird, like, why didn't you just say hi before you know, grab my, but
hello.
It's not a big deal, but yeah, I mean, for sure. And I guess in that scenario, would it be different
if I were dressed differently?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the ending. I like how, for me, it did, it did look like a kid's painting in a way.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way, though, because
Playful.
A lot of abstract, you know, if you think about it, in some ways, a lot of kids' paintings look like a lot of famous abstract paintings, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, I guess in their own way, it has something to say, and it always says something, you know, especially the choice of colors kind of subconsciously always means something, I feel like. And I like the contrast between the thick and the
there was a bit of that was
cool.
You know, it's strange because as much as I was a puppet, there were some things that I obviously had to influence, and it goes back to what we're talking about in visual comms. It's like we're inherently influenced by our society.
Yeah, we are.
And there's no way that we can completely remove ourselves from influencing the things around us, especially as an artist who's responsible for, like, interpolating the the community and the culture, the society that we live in, right?
Yeah.
The documenting it all.
It's hard. I mean, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it was your choice of the purple you used and
Right.
and the choice of the black, and the smaller. But yeah, I mean, I always say, if you want to get to know a person, know their parents, because that is how you know someone. If you want to know someone, you have to know just meet their parents, because besides society, who raised you, you know, who impacted you, like when your brain was a sponge
in your first years of life. Yeah.
It was your parents,
right?
You know, it was your family, and they, you know, it's very rare for someone's parents to be, for example, a Democrat and to have a Republican child, if that makes sense. My mom's very liberal, and I'm much more on that side, but I wonder if I had been raised in a, you know, different setting, would I have been a different person? And 100%.
Yeah.
I remember when, oh God, I have so many stories with people's parents, man.
Girl, this is like the 4th example of another podcast episode that we have. But
I have
you know what's blowing my mind now that you're saying that is we touched on the fact that there are many parents in this episode that influence their children to go and participate, but they themselves,
they don't. They didn't. Yeah. Which is weird. That's so funny. Why didn't, I mean, I guess you want your son to do it.
Yeah.
But are you just living vicariously through your son, maybe?
What is this saying about parents and children and how we raise our next generations, y'all?
But even the mom, when the guy walked up to do it, the mom was like, watch what your father does. It was like he was doing it to give her an example.
To entertain, to give an example.
He wasn't doing it for himself, like, well,
who knows?
To try the experience. But yeah, it was just that one lady who was walking by herself, the first one. She was the only one, I think, who didn't have a child or anyone with her. She just was like, oh, this is interesting. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And she was the first one, too.
Yeah. How long do you think it took?
It took a while, I'm sure. It looked like it took a while for people to walk up. There was a lot of people stopping.
If you could guess. I told you I was there for 2 hours.
For 2 hours?
Yeah. How long do you think it took for the first person to interact with me?
I would say maybe a good 30 minutes, maybe 40.
You're close there. It's 26 minutes.
26? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I would say a good 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in Rome, maybe a bit less.
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially because, you know what's funny? Is that a very touristic spot?
No.
People tend to be more, I find that, you know, walking around here and listening to people, I noticed that being outside of your country and, you know, people tend to be more adventurous in a way, and they're more down to try things or like do different things.
They're in like a YOLO state of mind.
Exactly. I don't know these people around me, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I can get drunk and embarrass myself.
Yeah. Don't fall off any bridges though.
No, but yeah, so I definitely think with the amount, if you did it with the amount of tourists here, they would be like, oh, this is cool. We don't have this back at home. Let me try this thing. This once in a lifetime experience.
Oh yeah. That is so funny to us, man. We're living here and everyone's like, this is a once in a lifetime experience. Yeah, and we're like, we're going to university and we're all dying. Please help.
YOLO.
This is our everyday. And aren't we so lucky? I mean, we're in the epicenter of art. I mean, we're just surrounded by it every day.
Honestly, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
To be honest. So.
Well, thank you for sharing your time with me today.
Thank you for having me, Kristen.
Yeah. I mean, this was great. I think we really went back and forth, and this is going to be a really great addition to whatever this becomes a part of eventually. Yeah. So to close, I mean, we talked about influence. I want to know who in your life has greatly influenced you and why.
Ooh. That's a big question. All right, let me think about it for a sec. Who has greatly influenced me?
Yeah, take your time.
You know what? I'm going to go back to the parents thing, I think. For sure. I mean, I'm not going to be like some big, you know, famous person or something like that. No, I think my parents influenced me a whole lot. Not saying that I'm not my own person. That's definitely something that I got to learn more last year when I took a gap year. But for sure, I think my mom, I grew up a lot with my mom, and because also I was a child, and there were reasons, like circumstances that kind of created the reason why me and my mom were super close. Like she was one of the only people I would talk to, so a lot of her ideas and visions, you know, influenced me and the way I see the world. And I also think, if it would be something out of my mom, my parents, and thank God my mom's a smart lady and very nice, or else I would have been different. But
yeah, bless our mothers.
bless mom, bless Tracy, shout out. And but I think it would be my art also, because besides my mom, the one thing that influenced me the most is my art. It was the only also escape or way I could talk or express, besides talking and expressing to my mom. So in ways I learned a lot about myself through my art, and then I was also, you know, influenced by my mom in a lot of subjects. So
Yeah, bless your mom.
I think that would be and my
Yeah.
dad too, but I was close to my
yeah. Shout out to Dad too.
Shout
We
out
see
to
you. We see you.
Muhammad, very Arabic name.
Well, I really resonate with what you had to say about art as well. I think it does serve as a platform to allow us to express ourselves in a more universal way.
Yeah.
And I think we're learning that a lot in visual comms, how
For sure.
this language is still influenced by the culture in which we're interpreting it from,
Yeah.
but in a way still universal in a different way that
different-
languages can't
Yeah.
can't cross.
Exactly.
Right, there are
Because
boundaries.
it's visual. It's not something you have to learn.
Right.
It's, you know.
Right. So John Paulo and I talked about historical painting and how he appreciates art because he's able to basically step into the time zone in which a war took place, for example, and see the looks of desperation on people's faces and things. But one interesting thing that we talked about was then the introduction of photography and how that sort of shaped how we interpreted what was going on in the world. Because then it gave us more of an identity. We could put an actual name to the face that we're seeing, whereas if we're looking at a painting, we see a man, but maybe we don't see who that man actually is.
Yeah.
We see the artist's hand
at that, and it's more than a person. It's like, it's more personal, whereas I think maybe photography gives that more exact.
Yes, it's
image.
more exact. It's
for
precise.
Sure. Yeah, and there's also hidden meanings behind paintings. So, like, you know, it's a man, but the artist maybe painted him in a way where it's saying something different to who maybe he really is, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, photography is very beautiful, and it allows people to see the world, you know,
for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something and it completely
That's
got out
okay.
of my...
Well, I'd like to piggyback off of that quickly. Is like, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have to remember.
photography has totally changed the way that art is being made. We're seeing how contemporary art has unfolded, whereas art before was a method to convey what the world is, and then they discovered, we can tell narrative stories with what we're painting. When photography was introduced, now art is becoming this platform of expression to show more than what is in the world. Is photography's taken over that, right? But it's
photography is
still
all over. I mean,
yeah,
even the
fucking
selfies you
Instagram
take, selfies. That's all.
Everyone is an influencer.
Everyone has a way of expressing, even though, you know, some people be like, but Instagram's not art. It's not art, but I mean, it's not
debatable.
Exactly, it's not categorized as art, but the fact that you're showing something through a image is art. You know, you're expressing something, kind of, even though it doesn't maybe have a huge meaning, but I can kind of get to know you also through what you're showing, so that's right. You know, you can tell a lot by someone's Instagram. I feel like
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
we say that in the States.
And there's catfishing.
And then there's catfishing. To each their own. But that's right. You can see the artist's influence in the painting.
Yeah.
Probably easier than you would in photography. I mean, photography is about probably finding that exact moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Being ready in the moment to capture.
Exactly.
Right.
But I think that's the sad thing also about today is everyone's now kind of trying to find that moment, whereas they're not enjoying the moment. They're just waiting for the moment to pull out their phones and capture that moment.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, okay, then are you living in the moment? Are you going through it? Wow, I'm having a hard time finding my words today.
You did wonderfully, Selima.
But
and I think watching this back, you will 100% agree. This is going to be a great addition to what's being put together, and I really appreciate your time, especially now that school's picking up and everything's getting very busy.
Ooh, midterms.
Yes, ma'am. So before we log off here, is there anything else you'd like to say? Any like lasting message that you've gotten from our conversation today?
I think. Oh.
Words.
Spot like that?
Words. Come on. Like, okay, Selima, here. Let me get you a pen. We can just draw a picture.
That would be my last.
Yeah.
I draw a penis. That's like the next. That is my last word. Words.
Insert dick here, please.
The next social experiment is that's like what I think is gonna be. No, but I think. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. This was really fun. I'm definitely now thinking a lot about that podcast idea, for sure. And I loved your social experiment. Let me know if you do it in Rome because I'm sure it's gonna be way different.
I will, babe.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it was really nice to watch and to see how people interacted with it. I think everyone should also, I would really encourage everyone to kind of, art is everywhere. It's music, it's painting, it's taking pictures, it's writing, let's put some music on and express yourself with art.
Yes.
That would be my last words, not penis.
Cheers.
And we
to
love
that.
Tunisia and America.
Yeah. And that's so great because my catchphrase here is to stay creative, my friend.
Oh, yeah. And now I have to translate stay creative. And I have to translate that phrase for you, the Tunisian one, so you can add it to the subtitles.
Yes. Oh my God.
So
How
funny.
lucky was that?
That was hilarious. Tunisians all over.
All right. And we're logging off now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.